pretty cool. You want to talk about somebody that was cool? He was in my the Daywave chat today, but I had to bring this to you when I saw this. I had to bring this to you. David, our new friend David Bond,
sex tourist David Bond.
Yeah, sex tourist David Bond. Now, as we pointed out, all of his videos, and look, I want to show you guys just so you can see that I'm not making it up. All of his videos are girls with their cleavage. See, cleavage, Asian chick with cleavage, Asian chick with cleavage, 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 cleavage. Another Asian chick with cleavage, just tits.
And then whenever it's him, think he gets like no views.
Right. So he put this. He put this video out today because Mike, he's showing us he's more than just about boobs. David's a real thinker.
He's a well-rounded philosophical type.
He's a real thinker.
Okay.
Okay. Of our time.
I don't believe you, but okay.
Okay, give him a chance, okay? Right. Now, I want to preface this by saying this is not Carlos Navarro. This is David Bond. David Campbell.
One of the funny things about human nature is we kind of live our life as if we won't ever die. We always, postpone things to next month.
Look, all I'm telling you is, and I said this morning, it's a lot of quotes that wine moms post on Facebook. This is 7 minutes where he talks a lot and says nothing. The things that he's saying should have
inspirational horse shit.
The things that he's saying should have a minion next to them.
Picture of Chris Brown.
Yes. Or Wilford Brimley behind it.
Out there next year, we always kind of have this belief that tomorrow will come, and the fact that the time that we have is actually precious and short is something
so I like
that
to spend my precious time on this earth purchasing young Thai girls with big breasts and braces for the purposes of exploiting them sexually with a GoPro on my head.
Somebody pointed out that video that we watched yesterday, because you reminded me with the braces, the girl, the reason she was going to the doctor and we never let it finish was to get her titties installed.
Yeah.
To get them upgraded.
Big tits, braces, Thai girls, exploiting them for sex. You got to live your best life.
Somebody was saying, too, somebody commented on our David Bond video, and they were like, yeah, you fell for it. He's doing this for you guys to go after him to gain more subscribers. I'm like, we have 26,000. He has 472,000. Yeah. What is he gaining? Yeah, except us making fun of him.
Yeah, a lot. By the way, a lot. We're going to be making fun of him a lot.
Yeah, he's really easy to make fun of.
He's a well we're going to keep going back to.
So get ready for this motivational speech.
Sorry.
I'm trying to get you pumped. I'm trying to get you pumped.
I'm sorry, you're right.
Kind of forget and take for granted. A lot of us in the back of our head kind of think, well, even if life's short, I'll probably live to 75 or 80 years old.
David, I got to tell you.
Oh, boy.
David, I think you've been lied to.
Oh, here we go.
Brothers and sisters, because we actually live on a flat, domed earth. The moonbeams are cold.
Short, I'll probably live to 75 or 80 years old, and 80 years isn't really a short amount of time. It's a long time.
Or you'll get killed with a machete in Thailand when you don't pay a hooker.
It's a long time to spend in an Indonesian prison.
Yeah, seriously.
The sense of urgency doesn't really click with people. The problem with this idea of I'll live to 80 and 80 is a long time is it fails to recognize that the quality of each year of your life does change based on your age.
Who doesn't know these things? Who's he talking? A child? Are these videos for children?
I really... This guy has a mind I really want to go poke around in.
Yeah, it's really weird, right?
He's bizarre and childlike. And he's also a predatory sex tourist. Yeah. So there's just so many things about this guy.
So, for example, let's take the first 5 years of your life. Were you alive? Well, yeah, and those count as 5 years.
That's why I needed to show you this video. I don't want to. I needed to show you.
He might be one of the dumbest people I've ever heard on this show, and we've been going for years now.
He's pretty stupid. He makes Brendan Schaub look like a Mensa candidate.
He sounds like somebody that you're smoking weed with in junior high school.
It's exactly what I said this morning.
It's like, dude, it's like, think about it, right? Like, for the first 5 years of your life, you're like alive, man. Yeah, you're like, oh, yeah, I know, dude.
It sounds like the Joe Rogan Experience, but episode 94. Yeah, you know what I mean?
But what could you actually do your first 5 years? Well, the first 1 year or 2 years, you can barely even walk or speak. And the next 3 years,
That's not true, guys. It's like I was able to play piano and walk and talk when I was 6 months old.
My mom told me.
Speak. And the next 3 years, sure, you can run around, but you can't do things like book a plane ticket or have sex or vote.
Do you see where his mind always, these little peaks behind the insanity, right? Look where his mind always, he's
Booking
going to
flights and crushing puss.
At 5 years old, you can't have sex. Yeah, we know.
This guy thinks that life is sex with
That's all it is.
Thai
This
girls.
this guy is stuck at like 17 years old. You know, it's like, hey, you saw I banged Sharon last week at the party. Dude, you're 35 years old. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Or drive a car. So obviously you can't do those things at 5 years old. So your first 5 years are years of life, but the number of things you can do in those years is extremely, extremely limited. The point
We already heard you.
to make here is that not all years of your life are equal. The first 10 years of your life and the last 10 years of your life are extremely limiting. The number of things you can do at 80 are not the same as the number of things you can do when you're 30.
Wow, you know
Yeah.
what? He's got a good point.
We know.
No, he's got a good point. Because, you know, remember, I hung out with your family on Thanksgiving, and I was playing a game of half court with your grandfather, and I mean, I was just dunking.
It
on
was
him.
really crazy.
I mean,
You
I
shouldn't
was
have done that.
throwing elbows. He was on the ground most of
Bleeding,
the time.
mostly,
yeah,
yeah.
wheezing. And I felt bad, but like sometimes I'm in it to win it. I'm not gonna play a game and just half-ass it. So you know, yeah, he wasn't able to play basketball as well.
So the question is, how many years of your life do you even have to say
And look at his high school picture. You could already tell he was not somebody that succeeded in high school.
Oh, he was not cool in high school.
pursue the life that you want? Everyone has a different version of what their perfect life looks like. And for some people that might be riding horses on the countryside all day. For other people that might be painting. For others it might be traveling the
Yes,
world.
there's many things people can do. We know. There's a lot of hobbies. We know
Meeting new
that.
people,
Is he
doing
just going to list every hobby ever? Some people like to build little ships in a bottle. Some people like to go rowboating. Some people go skydiving. You know, some people enjoy a nice film. They go to a theater.
Principle of certainty. Man discovers time.
It's
It
just,
might be traveling the world, meeting new people, doing photography. And you know,
Every time you talk to, I mentioned this today earlier on, but I will say this. Every time you talk to somebody who is a sex tourist, who does this kind of stuff, there's an inherent shame to it, right? They won't just go, yeah, you know, I go to Thailand to fuck cheap bitches. They always go like, you know, I like meeting new people, you know, embracing myself
culture.
in a culture. Yeah. Yeah. You think they're sitting there talking to some fucking Filipino convenience store owner that's chain smoking cigarettes? No, they're not. They're going there to have sex with questionably aged and questionably gendered women. They're pretending like they're these world travelers. You're going there to fuck, bro. At least be honest.
deep down, what
he's
kind
also,
of life
besides being a sex tourist, he's also the other worst thing ever. No, not that.
Oh.
A photographer.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say that. I got friends that are photographers, and I'm going to get like 10 DMs later about this. You're not interesting people. You're not. You set up a camera. There is some talent that goes into it, and I've known some good cameramen. We've got some guys that have worked with us, right? But you know what I mean when guys are like, I'm a photographer. Like, that's their whole identity.
Yeah.
They're never interesting. They're never interesting people. You're literally, your entire existence revolves around taking pictures of scenery that's around you that's more interesting than you. You know what that's like? Do you know what it's like to be less interesting than a sunset? So you take a picture of the sunset because you're not in.
The sun doesn't set, it goes away.
You're just a machine operator.
And the moon comes out and it's cold.
Because the beam is cold. But like, you understand? You're a unskilled machine operator.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you are, and it's just. I love when people are like, I'm a photographer. Go around and I'm a photographer. Has anybody ever went, man? I got to. There's one guy in the history of the world that created demand for photographs, and that was J. Jonah Jameson. Nobody else cares.
And they were only of Spider-Man.
Only, and unless you have a picture of that, nobody gives a
Leave
shit.
his office.
wish you had. And in this video, what I'm going to try to kind of show you is that the time you have to achieve it is so small that it should scare the living shit out of you.
Small. I bet
So let's say, for example,
speaking of small, you got to figure he's got a small dick too.
Of course.
Because I noticed, like, because you could be a sex tourist in America, you don't got to leave.
You could
buy pussy here.
You could be a fucking sex tourist in South America. The problem is they're not little skinny bony asses. You have to reach.
It's always white guys with fixed incomes,
Yeah.
right? White guys with only so much income who have small penises that go to Asia.
example, one of your dreams is to travel the world for a year. Now, I know that many of my viewers are interested in travel, and so we will use this as an example. So let's say you know for a fact that you won't die till 80 years old.
How do
Well,
you know
that's
that?
great. You have a lot of time. But do you really? So obviously your first 12 years don't really count because your first 12 years, you're not really an adult. You don't have any legal rights to do things like have
good.
a bank account or
You're feeding squirrels heavily salted sunflower seeds.
They love those. Great for them.
have a passport where you can travel independently. So let's just kind of remove the first 12 years of your life because you can't really use those years to achieve this goal.
He's an Instagram model. Like, that's his life. His life is the same.
No, he's not a model though. He's
But-
just
but-
an Instagram dude.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it's
Yeah.
even worse because you're just the photographer.
So we take 80 and we minus 12 years. Okay, big deal. So we have 68 years left. That's plenty of time, right? Well, not when you think
Oh
of
my
the
God,
fact
he's still doing the math.
Oh, I know. This is 7 minutes of him
okay, you might
doing
have
math.
to full screen this for a second.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I need people to see his inspirational imagery.
that your last 10
Very
years
inspiring.
probably won't really count either because you may have the money, but you're not really going to have the energy. In fact, I know a lot of people who they talked about retiring and doing these great things, and now that they're in their 60s, they're just simply too tired to do it. So we can't really rely on our last 10 years, so why don't we just cut that out?
No. Here's the thing, you fucking piece of shit. And I said this, when you get to that age at 80 years old, you can be happy. See, my point, if you've developed relationships with people, have family around you, people that you love, like my grandfather recently passed away. He said the last 10 years were his happiest years because he got to see what his family turned out. He got to see his great-grandchildren. Like, that stuff matters. The problem is when you look at life only through the fucking prism of how much fucking Asian pussy you get, that's a letdown. But that makes, see, David, all your subs and all your, hey, you guys are so mad. Here's the thing, David, because he watches all these. He was in David's watching now, too. David, here's the thing, man. I feel bad for you. Like, we're going to goof on you because it's easy, but I feel bad for you that's what you think is important in life. Like, and by the way, David's only like 5 years younger than us, so he's not like he's this young fucking 19-year-old dude out there, He's in his 30s.
I got an aunt that's pushing in her 80s now, and they're from that part of the family that was a little more functional than my side of the family, but like all of them are getting old and paunchy now, and you know what? They're all happy.
Yeah.
Whenever I see them, they're still doing like the gay ass, St. Patrick's Day. The whole family gets like matching T-shirts, airbrushed, and they go out and drink. And it's like the generations of family, and they're all, hey, like I'm going up to see him at Christmas. I haven't seen that part of the family in years, and they're like, yeah, come, it's gonna be fucking great. Like they're all like, we're gonna get fucking boozed up. We got food. We're all gonna, you know what I mean? Like that is the part. Again, I don't have cousins. I got cousins that are like retired cops and shit, and they're just like old fat drunk Irishmen now. And you know what they're not doing? They're not flying to Thailand to crush, to crush the fucking the cervix of some chick who's got braces. You know what I mean? They're living. They're happy. Royce is right. You're heading down that road. You're panicking because you're like, oh God, that's going to be a dark time because you're going to die alone. You're going to be like, you know what you are? You're going to grow up to be politics suck. That's going to be David Bond. Lying in my bed here in the in Thailand. He's going to be in Thailand. Pesos for Poppy with his fucking drone cameras.
Out as well. Okay, so now we remove the last 10 years of your life because you can't really use those 10 years to achieve this goal.
But you can. What goal?
The goal of crushing puss.
The goal of attaining your idea of happiness, David. Do you understand that? Do you understand that you're a clinically diagnosable narcissist? You don't because you're a clinically diagnosable narcissist. But you're a narcissist. You're projecting what you think happiness is onto these other people and creating this yeah, man, you don't have that last 10 years and that first 10 years that you grow up having Christmases with your family as a kid.
Making memories that'll last a
your
lifetime.
Dad teaching you how to ride a bicycle. Those are the worst. Bro, dude, when I was growing up, my dad taught me how to shoot a .22 rifle. My dad would pick me up on the weekends and we get egg sandwiches from the deli. He taught me how to ride a bike. Can I tell you guys? That was the worst 10 years of my life. I was like a fucking prisoner. But that's what he sounds like, right? Like the first 10 years and the last 10 years are actually pretty dope because you don't have to work. You don't really have any fucking responsibilities, and you're surrounded by family if you played the game right.
And every time we talk about different fan bases, his fan base to me is the saddest. Like there's fans who've now been commenting on our stuff. We talk about him, and it's a lot of like, you're just jealous that you don't crush puss. Hey, if you could do it, bro, fucking do it. I'm like, dude, you're fucking gross. Like some of these people are fucking gross people.
Yeah. By the way, David, I would like. It's not. I'm not even hating on you for being a sleaze. Lord knows I'm a sleaze, or at least was really sleazy in my 20s. But I didn't have to like get a passport and fly halfway across the world to fuck third world women for a fee. You get it? Like, I get it. I was like strip clubs. I was fucking some questionable women and stuff. But like, do you understand, David? They fucked me. They took me to Waffle House after work and bought me food and then fucked me. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, you're not flying. Like, that girl, like, I've never been around a woman in a hotel room or like that I was going to fuck at somebody. I've never been with a woman who was as terrified as the one that was in that video the other day. Like, no woman has ever given me that vibe and being in a room with me like, okay, yes. Okay, I'll get ready now. Like
they call that, the slang for that is the old Jim Jeffries.
We plied her with drugs. She was like 17.
Comedy Central show.
So 58 years, that's what we have, right? Well, not exactly. One of the things that human beings do is...
This is what happens when you hang out with a bunch of Asian people. You start doing a lot of math.
Is they sleep. And you can't be traveling the world when you're asleep.
Yeah, people sleep.
Oh, they do.
And hey, man, when you blink, that's half your life you're blinking. Your eyes are closed.
Yeah, that's all old people do. Like, as opposed to Royce's old-ass grandfather who basically drank Jameson with me and ripped on me like it was a goddamn Friars Club roast for an entire night. It was like being at a comedy roast with all the bullshit being... But no, he was just asleep the whole time. Walked in, he's like, who are you, the president? Because I just wore Jags.
It was very funny.
Call out, I just wore a Jag. And then the rest of the night, it was like, just smoke too much. Like, just pray. I'm like, all right. Go to sleep. David Bond said, all you people do is sleep. Go to sleep.
I know you might be saying, okay, well, I have to sleep. Everybody sleeps.
Mio says, you can sleep on a plane.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if it's international. Yeah. It's the best time.
I know you might be saying, okay, well, I have to sleep. Everybody sleeps. And what do you expect, me to stay awake? Well, no, I don't expect anyone to stay awake 24 hours a day. And that's the point. The point is that when we look at the length of our life, we need to consider the fact that a lot of our life is actually spent sleeping.
David Bond is the quintessential sex tourist. These are people, as I said, who probably have small dicks. They have money, but a limited amount of money. And they have zero personality. Now listen, seriously, take your little ass dick, take $600 and go fly to Thailand. You'll be the most interesting man in town for a weekend. This is what
I was pointing out.
You know
he
acts
like he balls hard, but today on Daywave, I was going to Airbnb and looking up places in Bali, for example. You could get a mansion, on the water for $150 a night. Yeah. Like a 5-bedroom mega mansion.
And he's not staying in those mansions either.
He's staying at a hotel.
In those little dingy hotels that are probably $30 a night, $20 a night. It's not like, again, you're not but that's what sex tourism is. None of these sex tourists are, it's not like people always think it's like this eyes wide shut, rich Epstein Island type shit. The guys that go to Thailand have $600 on them, a tiny ass dick, and no personality, and they go there because they go, oh hello, me likey $5 for American $5.
So how long do we sleep, and how many years does that remove from our 80-year number?
How long do I sleep? I don't know. How long is this video?
Jesus. 8 hours a night. Boring. And let's take 8 hours times 365 days. Well, you're sleeping about 2,920 hours a year. And if we take that number and times it by 80 years, we're going to get about 233,000 hours
So I'm
of
assuming
sleep.
this is, by the way, this is footage of him
Yeah,
as a
it's a
kid.
baby. Yeah.
So they've been filming this kid. He's an only child. He's got to be.
Yeah.
He's an only child. He got a video camera back when they were expensive, when he was young. Like he obviously had parents that just, this is David Bond is the only thing that boomers are able to create. Like his parents were probably the quintessential boomers that gave their kid every bit of attention, everything he wanted. He never had any kind of a struggle growing up. And that's why he's so entitled now. Like he's so entitled, but I got to imagine that man bouncing him around as a kid is probably disappointed in his
And
son's
dead.
life choices.
32 years, 3 decades. It's a blink of an eye. The reason I'm making this video is I want people to wake up. You don't have the time. You don't have the time to waste. You only have 3 decades when you really crunch the numbers. You don't have time to waste on caring what people think of you. You don't have time to waste on...
The guy who has been in my chat, he's in this chat currently. He was watching every video that we talk about. How much time are you wasting in your life?
Yeah, don't waste time.
Why are you wasting an
Don't
hour
waste time on
of
two
your
guys
life?
that just sit in a room and hate on everybody.
Why are you wasting time on us, bro? Go live your life. What's wrong? The truth of the matter is you could only have sex 2, maybe 3 times a day. In your 30s, tops, right? You know, sex that at least feels good, right? And even after that, after a while, you're like, 1 time a day, I can't. So after you're done doing that, you have nothing left in the fucking void of your life. Because that's the truth. Here's the thing, David. The truth of the matter is that we've covered a lot of people, but you're the person that makes me the most sad. Because your existence is meaningless.
Baked Alaska.
All right, fine. Second
You're the
most.
second saddest person we've ever come across.
Your existence is meaningless. None of this matters. You don't care what people think, but you troll the internet seeing what the fuck people are thinking about you. You're going to leave no mark. The only mark you're going to leave is when some sort of Thai pimp hits you with his car and your head smashes against the ground, and then a bunch of stray dogs walk around you while that girl that you bought tits for is rifling through your wallet and seeing she got access to your Bitcoin account. You fucking retard.
I don't even think it's going to be that glorious. I don't think he's going to get beat up by a pimp or run over. I think you're just going to slowly feel the energy and the life force drain from your body as you age and get old and paunchy and fat. And you start fucking these girls that still have braces, by the way. And you're going to be just hunched over them, sweating and out of breath. And then, when you fall asleep, these girls are going to steal your medication. And it's going to be, you're just going to, like he said, you're just going to fade away. And there's not going to be any David Bond stories. That's the thing about you, David. You go around, you flash your $30 in Bali like you're a big baller, and you drive your little drone planes, and you pay women for sex. But none of these people, none of them have a story about you.